YuGiOh 101 video game and anime only video. Here to give you guys some more anime and video game only cards. If you're new to this series of videos, basically what I do is that I just look at and sometimes even review the anime only cards that either have yet or never will be made into official cards. And it's basically just to have fun. I'm not making predictions or anything like that, saying that these will be made into official cards, so don't get your hopes up. Um, but it's still nice to see what anime only cards or what video game only cards would be um, useful in the game if they are made into official cards. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, let's get started. First up, we got Fool's Dice. It's a counter trap card. Description: activate only when your opponent control. Activate only when a monster your opponent controls is removed from the field. Discard one level 2 or lower normal monster. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the removed monster's level times 200. Just use Dark Core in one of those level 1 normal monster builds, and you know this card would work good in that if they ever made it. Next up, we got Fleur Guard, and it's a normal trap card. Description: select one face-up monster you control this turn. It cannot be destroyed by battle. We got Wabuko, so that's not even needed. uh, next up, we got Fair Exchange. It's a normal spell card. Description: send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Your opponent sends cards from the top of their deck to the graveyard equal to the combined levels of any monsters sent to the graveyard this way. That's a lot of potential milling. You would have people running high level monsters just to dump your, you know, just to get you to mill cards. That's a cheap piece of shit right there. Man. Next up, we got Floral Shield. It's a normal trap card. Description: activate only when your opponent's monster declares an attack. Negate the attack and draw 1 card. That would be this basically just a better version of, you know what I'm saying, negate attack. You know, that draw power though. Simple draw power at that. Next up, we got a quick play spell card, Engagement. Destiny. Description: when another player would take damage from a card effect, half that damage also you take equal to the half amount. Yeah, so they get half of everything, just like an engagement, right? Perfect name for a perfect card. Next up, we have Fairy Breath, and it's a counter trap card. Description: activate only by selecting one face-up monster on the field while you control a face-up ancient fairy dragon. That monster gains 3,000 defense until the end phase. Okay, kind of creating the iron wall there. Next up, we got Discord Counter. Uh, it's a counter trap card. Description: activate only when your opponent synchro summons a monster. Return that monster to the extra deck. Then special summon all of the monsters that were used for the synchro summon from your opponent's graveyard to their side of the field. Your opponent cannot summon a monster until the end phase of their next turn. Wow, that would have been good during the era of synchros. I mean, and it's funny because they put it in a video game. You know what I mean? So if it was made into a video, if it was put into a video game, why not make it into an official card? You know, that's what I always say. But next up we got Diving Exploder. It's a dark machine effect monster, level 1 tech, defense 0. Description: you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to switch the attack and defense of all face-up monsters on the field. If a monster is destroyed by battle and the attack and defense of all affected monsters are returned, if a monster is destroyed by battle, the attack and defense of all affected monsters are returned to normal on the end phase. Okay, so as long as you don't lose, well, yeah. So as long as well, no, yeah, as long as the monster isn't destroyed, which would be crazy. Well, yeah, like as long as the monster is not destroyed by battle, then you know you can keep the attack and defense switch, but you would switch it just so you can gain the upper hand. At least that's what I would think. So moving on. Next up, we got Doom Petal Countdown. It's a continuous trap card. Description: during your end phase, you can remove from play one plant type monster from your graveyard to inflict 300 damage to your opponent. When you remove from play a monster to activate this effect, if there is no plant type monsters in your graveyard, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each plant type monster removed by this card's effect. If there are no plant type monsters in your graveyard, destroy this card. Burn, 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 burn. Next up, we got Double Ripple. Double Ripple. Double Nipple. Yes, Double Nipple. It's a normal spell card. Description: send from your hand. Send from your side of the field to the graveyard one tuner monster and one or more non-tuner monsters whose combined levels equal 7. Then special summon from your extra deck one power tool dragon and one ancient fairy dragon in face-up defense position. Oh, and this was in a video game too, Tag Force 6. So, you know, I think this would be cool to get ancient fairy dragon and power tool dragon out. Um, it would have been nice to see if this card. I mean, if it was made in the video, if it was made for the video game, why not make it into an official card? Since they all about money, I guess it wouldn't be too much of a bad thing for them to like release a card like that, right? It would be crazy though if that was an official card though. Next up, we got Double Type Rescue. It is a normal trap card. Description: activate only while you control 2 or more different types of monsters and your opponent controls more monsters than you do. Select and special summon one monster from your graveyard. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's helpful if you're running decks that have multiple types of monsters. Uh, Next up, we have Downburst. It's a normal trap card. Description: set all face-up spell and trap cards your opponent controls. This would be good to activate cards like Full House or like those type of cards. I can't remember the name of the one that can destroy all of the face down spell and trap cards your opponent controls. But I think this would be good to combine with that. Next up, we have Assault Cannon Beetle. And it is a Earth Machine Fusion Effect Monster, level 8, attack 2400, defense 2800. Description: 1 Beatron, 1 Beetle Top, Beatron 2, Beetleturbo, Beatron 3, Spider Base. This card can only be special summoned from your fusion deck by returning the above cards you control to the deck. You do not use polymerization. You contribute 1 monster to inflict 800 damage to your opponent. I guess we better take a look at the Beatrons because they might have effects that can benefit that. Oh, they're normal monsters. Okay, so there's Beatron 1, Beetle Top. So see if all the rest of them are normal monsters as well. No, okay, this is an effect monster, and it's a union monster out of all things. So Beatron 2, Beetleturbo, Earth Machine Union Monster, level 4, attack 1500, defense 1800. Description: once per turn during your main phase, you can equip this card to a Beatron 1 Beetle Top you control as an equipped spell card, or unequip it to special summon this card in face-up attack position. While equipped to a monster by this card's effect, that monster gains 400 attack and defense. Okay, so it's an attack booster, attack and defense booster. And Spider Base, what is it? Beatron 3 Spider Base, another Union monster. It doesn't even have the effects for it, but yeah, that's pretty much it for it. Some minor burn damage. Next up, we have White Warrior Hail the Iron Hammer. It's a light fairy effect monster. Level 4, attack 1800, defense 1600. Description: if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, select one monster on the field and destroy it. Overpowered as level 4 fairy. 1800 level 4, what the fuck? I mean, like, that's a lot for one monster. And a level 4 monster at that. And a level 4 monster with a decent attack at that. That's a lot for one damn monster. Well, moving on. It's really good. It's a good thing it's not a warrior, so you can't search it out with reinforcements of the army. But yeah, moving on. We got Ecole des Zones. It's a field spell card. This is a description. Non-token monsters cannot attack directly. When a non-token monster is normal or special summon, destroy that monster and special summon one mass token. Spellcaster type, dark, level 1 attack, defense, unknown. To the destroyed monster's controller's side of the field in the same battle position as the monster destroyed by this card effect. Destroyed by this effect. The attack and defense of the mass token are equal to the respective attack and defense of the destroyed monster. So basically, it would be just like one of these token happy field spell cards. It would be chaos with this with this if this was made into an official card. And to think this was actually in a video game. This was in Tag 462. So it would be crazy to see a card like this. Like, it would literally be ridiculous. Oh man. Next up we got Endless Loan. Endless Loan. I think I reviewed this card once before. I don't know if I did or if I didn't, but just in case. It's a continuous trap card. Description: when your opponent normal or special summons a monster other than a lone token, special summon one lone token rock type light level 1 attack defense 0 on your opponent's side of the field in defense position. This token cannot be tributed or used as a synchro material monster. During your opponent's main phase, your opponent can send one card from their hand to the graveyard to select one lone token on the field and destroy it. So I guess it's a good way to empty out your opponent's hand. You know, cause they're gonna want to get rid of those lone tokens since they won't be able to do anything with them. You know, you can't exceed with tokens. They won't be able to synchro summon with it, and they can't tribute it at all. So it would just be on the field, so they would have to get rid of it. So that would be good to empty out their hand. But yeah, next up we got Earthbound Release. It's a normal trap card. Description: activate only when a level 6 or higher monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Tribute one Earthbound or mortal monster. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total attack of the destroyed monsters. Whew. That's a lot of burn damage. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. That is a lot. Man. That is a lot, man. That would be good for those swarm builds, man. Really good for those swarm builds. Anyway, next up we got Fake Gardener. So we had Shield Gardener, Big Shield Gardener, Small Shield Gardener, Necro Gardener. Um, we had fucking Gaga Gardener. Like we got Big Zero Gardener. And now we got Fake Gardener. I'm pretty sure that I'm missing one. But anyway, it's an Earth Warrior effect monster, level 4, attack 0, defense 2000. Description: when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in face-up defense position. If this card is special summoned with this effect, remove it from play when it is destroyed. It's protection. Simple as that. Fake. Fake. Next up, these are actually going to be kind of difficult. I gotta move this down to right there. Alright, these next three are going to be kind of difficult because the names that are in the card description aren't the names that they have up as the title for the card. First up, we have the Material Lord. It's a continuous trap card. Description: activate while there's a level 4 lore Arcana Force monster in your graveyard. Discard one level 5 or 6 Arcana Force monster and add one Spiritual Road from your deck to your hand. Next up, we have the Sky Lord, which is supposed to be like Spiritual Road, if I'm not mistaken. No, like this is another card. But yeah, the Sky Lord. It's a continuous trap spell card. Description: activate while there is a level 7 or higher Arcana Force monster in your graveyard. You can send this face-up card along with one face-up Material Road and Spiritual Road you control to the graveyard to special summon one Arcana Force EX Light Ruler from your hand, deck, or graveyard, ignoring the summoning conditions. And last but not least, we have the Spiritual Road, or the Spiritual Lord. It is a continuous trap card. Description: activate only when there is a level 5 or higher Arcana Force monster in your graveyard by sending a level 7 Arcana by sending a level 7 Arcana Force monster from your hand to the graveyard. Add one Heaven's Road from your deck to your hand. So like they basically just search for each other. You got the Sky Lord, the Material Lord, and that's basically what they are. They just need to change the names on the site. But yeah, next up we have Fenrir, the Nordic Wolf. It's a dark beast effect monster, level 10, attack defense 4000. Description: during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field in face-up defense position. You cannot normal summon or set monsters during the turn you summon this monster. During each standby phase, change the battle position of all monsters you control. If your opponent does not control another face-up Nordic monster, destroy this card. Battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving this card is also inflicted to you. Wow. So you're basically giving your opponent a level 10 4000 attack and defense monster, but it forces them to change their battle positions every standby phase. You know what I mean? And of course they're going to want to attack you with it, but they would also take that damage from that battle as well. So I don't know, like it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing when you look at it. Like you're giving your opponent a 4000 beat stick that can, say like burn them as well. That can be pretty much an annoyance, with their monsters' attacks positions and defense position getting switched constantly. But yeah, like I think that would be a fun card to use. But moving on, we have the Final Penalty. The Final Penalty. It's a normal trap card. Description: activate only when a fiend type monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's attacking monster and sent to the graveyard. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, then destroy the attacking monster. Not bad. I think that would be pretty good. Next up we have, that's a pretty good damn card, Final Penalty. Secret Mission. It's a normal trap card. Description: activate only when your opponent declares an attack. You can either have your opponent select one random monster you control and attack, and the attacking monster must attack it, or in the battle phase. Do it when you got a strong monster on the field that they wouldn't want to attack. So that's a pretty good damn card, in my opinion. Next up we got Destiny Hero, Dark Angel. It's a Dark Warrior effect monster, level 1, attack defense 0. Description: you can discard this card from your hand. When this card is sent to the graveyard by this effect, place it on top of your opponent's deck. During your end phase, if your opponent has an unused monster card zone, they take control of this card. More Destiny Heroes. Next up, you have Dark Wall of Wind. And it's a quick play spell card. This turn, the player's form is hidden in the darkness and does not receive direct attacks from enemy monsters. So, this is a card that can protect you for one turn. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. So that's pretty much it. I covered a ton of cards this time around, and yeah, man, that's everything. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. No, it was a bit long, but I had a lot of cards to cover, and it's always good to look at these anime and video game only cards and just imagine what the game would be like if these were made into official cards for the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please click a couple ads. It does help out. Uh, and I appreciate every little bit that you do. You know, so thanks for watching and peace. See you guys later.